I'm an American, and not long ago I started realizing something that quietly shattered what I thought I knew about my own country. It didn't happen all at once, just small realizations that kept stacking up until the picture I grew up with no longer made sense. The first crack appeared when I learned about healthcare. The United States spends more on healthcare than any country on earth, more than every developed nation, and yet when it comes to real outcomes, life expectancy, preventable deaths, overall health, we rank near the bottom. That shocked me. I genuinely believed we had the best healthcare system in the world. Last year alone, I paid over $8,000 out of pocket, even with insurance. Around the same time, a friend of mine in Germany had the exact same surgery. He paid nothing. When I shared this online, people said I was lying. Others said European healthcare is terrible. I still have the receipts. That was the moment I realized how defensive we become when reality challenges belief. Not long after that, something else stood out. A college roommate once looked genuinely confused when she learned that children in other countries don't stand up every morning and pledge loyalty to their national flag. She asked honestly, "Wait, other kids don't do that?" When I explained that daily flag pledges are often associated with authoritarian regimes, she became defensive. "But we're free," she said. "That's different." She couldn't see the irony. At the time, neither could I. It made me realize how deeply normal things feel when you grow up inside them. Culture becomes invisible, and anything that questions it feels like an attack. I was well into adulthood when I learned that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. He never even set foot in North America. He landed in the Caribbean where millions of people already lived. Growing up, I was taught Columbus was a hero. Only later did I learn about the genocide, enslavement, and violence that followed his arrival. It didn't feel like learning new history. It felt like realizing parts of the story were deliberately missing. When I mentioned this during Thanksgiving dinner, an uncle accused me of being too politically correct. I showed him history books. He said historians had an agenda. That's when I understood something uncomfortable. Facts don't matter if they threaten identity. Around the same time, I learned that paid maternity leave isn't guaranteed in the United States. We're the only developed country where that's true. I honestly thought every country worked this way. A coworker in Sweden gets over 400 days of paid parental leave. I got 6 weeks unpaid and nearly lost my job. When I told my mother, she said, "That's socialism. Be grateful you're employed." That was the first time I stopped and wondered, what if socialism wasn't actually what I'd been taught it was? I always believed America was the land of opportunity, the place where anyone could rise if they worked hard enough. Then I saw the data. We rank around 27th in social mobility, behind countries I was taught to pity for being socialist. Those countries actually offer more chances for people to improve their lives. That realization hit hard. I wasn't just misinformed. I had been systematically misled. Some realizations were smaller but just as revealing. Tipping culture exists because restaurants lobbied to pay workers below minimum wage. It was never about rewarding service. I learned that American cheese isn't legally considered cheese in many countries. It's a cheese product. I learned the Civil War was absolutely about slavery, not states' rights. I learned that unions weren't corrupt. Their decline mirrors wage stagnation. I learned that credit scores didn't exist until the late 1980s. None of these were accidents. They were systems, designed systems. The United States has the highest incarceration rate in the world. 4% of the global population, 25% of the world's prisoners. We don't have more crime, we criminalize more behavior. We spend more on the military than the next 10 countries combined. Most of them are allies. Yet we're told universal health care is too expensive. Somehow cages are affordable. Care is not. I don't hate America, I want it to be better. But somewhere along the way, questioning systems became betrayal. Critical thinking became unpatriotic. Truth became controversial. What I've learned isn't that America is uniquely evil. It's that we were taught a story. A simplified story, a comfortable story. And when reality doesn't match it, we defend the story instead of examining the truth. Understanding this doesn't make me anti-American. It makes me honest.